Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do genuinely hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. That's right. Yes, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea here in the Stamford Bridge studio, giving you my opinion on it, more importantly asking for yours. And there's so much to jump into today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mesdames et messieurs. Reece James apparently going to be back for the World Cup, or trying to get there. There's a good chance, the ramifications of that. Ooh, more on Endrick. Nizar Kinsella has written an article on the Evening Standard. We're going to dip into that as well. Sorry, hay fever, and I keep clearing my throat, which I'm sure you guys are going to love in this video. So we're going to talk about Endrick a little bit, which is really exciting. And I'm going to give you my lineup for Chelsea versus Man City in the Carabao Cup, away at the Etihad. Daunting, eh? I expect a bit of rotation. I have just watched Graham Potter's pre-match press conference for context, and that has guided-ish my predicted lineup, which hopefully you can enjoy. Reading, listening to, seeing, all of it. You'll absorb all with your eyes, hopefully. So thank you for joining me today for this video, and thank you for doing the housework and dropping a like. I've been down in the comments, lots of lovely comments from you lot recently. I've been trying to interact and like and heart the comments and stuff, so I do really appreciate the interactions. Yeah, man, thank you for being with me today and liking the video. Yes, you're welcome to subscribe, and of course, should you choose to subscribe, I recommend you hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. It's not my best, but we're just going to have to take it. I can't get the aperture right on this camera. We're just going to have to move on. Reece James injury update as Chelsea star learns return date amid England World Cup dilemma. This is on football.london by Jake Stokes. Reece James has been handed fresh hope of making the England squad ahead of the World Cup in Qatar. The 22-year-old suffered a knee injury in our 2-0 win over Milan last month following a collision with Theo Hernandez. He was set to be out for about 8 weeks, and the call-up from Gareth Southgate looked unlikely. After being flown out to Dubai to step up his rehabilitation, easy for me to say, James has been recovering ahead of schedule. It's because he's an absolute titan. That's me saying that. It's said the Cobham graduate has been working in the gym and the pool as the Blues send the FA frequent reports regarding the right-back's fitness and knee stability. And according to The Sun, James has been told he could be fit in 3 weeks. Oh! If the report is to be believed, then the Chelsea star will miss out on the 3 of the England's group stage fixtures. England are set to face Iran on November the 21st, and the United States on the 25th, and Wales on the 29th. With the Chelsea star in a race against time, Southgate has been handed a huge dilemma as to whether he risks handing James a place in his 26-man squad. Fellow right-back Kyle Walker is also racing to secure a place in the squad, having returned from injury. Yes, so there's a bit more on that, but I'll stop there. Look, many of you who aren't England fans would be like, heck no! I don't want him to risk further injury by, coming back maybe too early for the World Cup, and that would be very sensible at the end of the day. I mean, as an England fan, I want one of England's best players at the World Cup, but also for himself. He's he's mid-20s now. He's 22? No, 22 or 23? Well, he's in scintillating form. He's just signed a new deal. He wants to be at this World Cup. You might play in 3 World Cups at a push, maybe, or what, it really is an opportunity you don't want to, let pass by, especially these players will be thinking things about, I want to play in a World Cup before Harry Kane is 34. Do you know what I mean? Like, while he's still like 29, 30, I want to be trying to assist him for England at right back. Yeah, stuff like this that you don't consider, but very much footballers think of. Look, it'll be great for him as a player, as an individual, for the experience, for his development, if he's fit, if he's been given the all clear by medical professionals that he can go. So fingers crossed for the big man, and let's move on. Chelsea lead race. They lead the Endrick race, but face Real Madrid PSG to land the Brazilian wonder kid. by Nizar Quintela, like I said previously on the Evening Standard. Let's dive in and gain some insight, shall we? Chelsea are among the 3 clubs leading the race for the Brazilian wonder kid Endrick. The 16-year-old Palmeiras striker is facing unprecedented interest for his signature and has had several meetings with the West Londoners. Several meetings already. Real Madrid believe they are front runners for this signature, of course they do, but several sources believe both Chelsea and PSG are also involved in an open race. The Blues are hoping that their financial might can tempt the Brazil's biggest talent away from the well-trodden pathway to Madrid and towards Stamford Bridge. Well, look where the money is. Follow the money. It's in the Premier League, ladies and gentlemen. Endrick's father, Douglas, is involved in the decision-making. Well, I should hope so too, because the lad's 16, alongside the agents working with Madrid superstar Vinicius Jr. Ooh, his agents are Vinicius's? Another one that's easy for me to say. His agents are those of Vinicius Jr., which doesn't bode well for Chelsea fans. Any future deal will be signed early 2023, ahead of a move 2024 when he turns 18. So it's a season and a half away. So he'd have to be 18. That's going to be like a rule there of academy things. His family will prioritise offers that allow the youngster to grow and develop, but by pitting 3 of the world's most powerful clubs against each other, they will ensure also a great contract in the process. Yes, well, it's an absolute sensational contract for a little kid, essentially. Well, he's not a little kid; he'll be a man. But Endrick is already a household name in Brazil after scoring 165 goals in 169 games. It's basically a goal a game for their youth teams. It saw him become the club's youngest ever player to make his senior debut last month, aged just 16 years. He netted his first senior goals a fortnight ago to become the second youngest scorer in Brazilian first division history. Yeah, make no bones about it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. He is a special player that everyone wants. If Chelsea somehow land the child prodigy, it will be very good. But we are building a team for the future. It's very exciting stuff, whether you talk about your Hutchinsons, your Chukwuemekas, your Cassidays, all these people. Chelsea, certainly Todd Boehly, the new ownership, are trying to build a team for tomorrow, which is smart. You might be like, many of you might be like, sort yourselves out on the pitch right now, mate, because you're getting touched up by Arsenal and Brighton. Sure, true, I get it. But had we done this a few years ago, when we should have done, we would be soaring high over the football lands like a beautiful winning eagle. I don't know where I'm going with this. Point being, it's smart, and this is something we should have done a long time ago. And we're doing it now. I mean, PSG and Real Madrid are both trying to do it as well. Leading the Endrick race. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and let's move on. Welcome to the third part of the video. Chelsea are playing Manchester City in the League Cup, the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup. The most horrendous draw we could have drawn. Manchester City away at the Etihad. City are very good. They are probably the only team in world football right now that could go down a man and actually look better, because they were like irritated against Fulham coming back and winning 2-1 after going a man down and a goal down. Incredible scenes, really. They're just a very good football team. But as the question was posed to Graham Potter in his afternoon press conference, how seriously are people going to take this game? Or how seriously are City going to take this game? Not least because the next round after this is 3 days after the World Cup final. And certainly teams like Man City, possibly Chelsea, you'd imagine there's a chance they will have players in the World Cup final. Whether it's England that will make it, though I think England might have peaked under Southgate. Whether it's Portugal, of course, Cancelo and Bernardo Silva, and Ruben Dias for Man City. Portugal, a very strong team. If they reach the final, that's loads of their strong players, unavailable, etc. Although, Haaland's not going, etc. So a lot of the bigger teams could do without, that are playing in Europe, are playing other competitions, that might prioritise the FA Cup, that are playing in a particularly difficult season that is all congested because of said aforementioned World Cup. It makes it tricky. Trickier than usual. So I think we are going to rotate a bit, but we are in need of a result. Much more than Man City. Man City will know that we've not been good. Man City will know that they have been good. Man City will know that they're at home. These are pretty obvious things, I think. So, without further ado, I think they're going to rotate quite a lot, but I think we are a little bit too. But this is team opportunity. So here it is. Bang, 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 bang. Breathe it in, take a second, absorb it. And I will take you through it. No, I'm not going for a back five, though this particular formation, with spoiler, you can see him there, Dennis Zakaria in midfield, he could drop in and kind of play as an auxiliary sweeper or fill that, that void, making a back three. And I will talk you through and explain this lineup, ladies and gentlemen. So I've gone for a 4-3-3, maybe like, a little bit lopsided or asymmetrical at times, but it can turn into a 5-3-2, whatever, or 5, a 3-4-3 or whatever. So it's a 4-3-3, it can turn into a 3-4-3. Hopefully you understand my English. But though Marcus Bettinelli, we haven't seen enough of him to just suddenly go away and play at the Etihad. Of course, Kepa is out of injury. Kepa's Chelsea's number 1 as things stand. You play your number 2 away at Man City in the Cup if you don't play your number 1, and that is Edouard Mendy. He starts in goal. I don't think there'll be any risk of us seeing Bettinelli. Now, Thiago Silva needs a rest, though he's done some pretty heroic defensive actions of late. He's also maybe leaked in a couple of mistakes, and he absolutely does not deserve criticism for that, because the dude is 38 years old and has played so much football. It's just not right. So, he rests. I'm sorry, Chalobah, who's played an insane amount of football as well, but you do not rest, my friend. You play a football match here, and I'm very sorry about that. But I'm partnering you with Koulibaly, who's hopefully fit to go. Koulibaly playing that left centre-back, Chalobah playing that right centre-back. That makes sense. Now, left back, but at times licensed to go right forward. I've gone for Lewis Hall, who I know is in the squad, who can play in midfield or left back. This is a tactical manager's dream, the type of fullbacks that can invert. And if you look on the other side, a midfielder that can play wing-back, fullback, Loftus-Cheek. Now, when Loftus-Cheek was playing wing-back for Thomas Tuchel before he got the sack, he was inverting all the time and moving into midfield and causing overloads. I expect both Loftus-Cheek and Lewis Hall to do this in my theoretical slightly rogue. Well, it's not rogue, but you just never can call it with Graham Potter. But I think this is sensible. So there are my fullbacks / at time wingbacks, Loftus-Cheek, Lewis Hall, that would both invert at times. Now, Dennis Zakaria absolutely deserves a start, especially when we've just looked non-existent in the midfield, and he did absolutely nothing wrong in the Champions League outing when he was allowed to play. Have another shot. Show us what you got, man. Just try and keep your head, don't panic, and see if you can do anything in that midfield. And to partner him, slightly, will be a little bit deeper, is Mateo Kovacic, the ball carrier. Hopefully, he's been managed very, very well. Graham Potter confirms that his knee injury isn't that bad. I think his knee injury? That isn't that bad, that we're just looking after him. Start this game. You haven't played that much football. Start next to Dennis Zakaria. I'll be really, really interested to see how that partnership is and how safe that makes the midfield. And add, Gallagher's looking for Chelsea. He's often coming off the bench. Start this game. I want to see a midfield three of Zakaria, Mateo Kovacic, and Gallagher. Mount's been overcooked yet again, even though I know the gaffer says he likes to play a lot. Let him sit this one out, bring him off the bench. Start those three. I believe there could be a lot of balance there, hard work, ball progression, dribbling, and hopefully a bit of physicality from all three of them, actually. All three of them, I believe there could be physicality there. So, YOLO, let's move on to the attack. Now, I think a non-negotiable for you, me, everyone, especially considering this is a cup game and he hasn't had many starts. He only had one start. Armando Broja has to start up front. Tenacious, hardworking, desperate to impress. Got the strength, got the speed, and got the finishing. Starts for me. I imagine all of you agree as well. It's not like Aubameyang did much against Arsenal to make him undroppable. Start Christian Pulisic in the left wing role. He's been very good as well, given his chances of late. Absolutely deserves this. This is a high-profile start. Seem to remember him scoring a pretty amazing goal against Man City back in the day for Chelsea as well. And yes, like Lewis Hall, it's been confirmed Omari Hutchinson is in the squad. He's already been on the bench for Chelsea. Start him in this game. He's tearing it up at youth level. He looks like high-octane, exciting, special. Start him to complete that front three. Oh, I've shown my working, ladies and gentlemen. Do you agree with me? Let me know. Comment down below underneath the studio. And do you enjoy my lineup? Do you agree with it? Do you agree with the midfield? Just comment about everything in today's video. Let's start the conversation. Thank you for liking and subscribing. It's very kind. And I do appreciate it. I appreciate you for doing that. Thanks, mate. Oh, one at the back's yet to like it. Okay, now he's liked it. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you after the match. Hopefully we're happy. But, you know, peace.